Little video on writing a Shakespearean sonnet. Obviously this is one of your summative assessments and we've been putting it off for a long time. I gave you a long time to do it, but we've come across 2 sonnets already in the play, and I feel like now while it's fresh it'd be a good time to go through it again and ask for you to submit this. So, as a reminder, when we've got the sonnet, it follows a rhyming pattern of A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. So it's got the rhyming couplet at the end. It's 14 lines. Each line is written in iambic pentameter and is 10 syllables long. So there's 5 2-syllable feet, where the stress comes on the second. So I've bolded the stress here. 2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, and I can't remember the last line, what here shall miss our toil shall strive to mend. So you can hear the flow there, you can definitely hear the rhythm and the rhyme. Now, a couple of things we haven't really discussed on in class. Obviously, there's a lot of rules when looking at stress patterns, because your stress has to come on the second syllable within the feet, and that's really difficult sometimes. So to add a new little helping hand here, this is called a schwa. It's actually the most common sound in the English language. You hear it all the time, and it sounds like b, na, n, about, maroon, tandem, elevate, gravity, feminine, octopus, idiom, circus, round. So the schwa is this sound, and we hear it all the time. America, about, alike, nutty, verona, in chun, grudge, break, Now the schwa is always going to be unstressed. As long as you say it's going to be unstressed. So what you can do is when you're constructing your feet, you can actually put a schwa as the first syllable in the foot, and you'd know that the second syllable is more likely to be a stressed one there. So I've marked all of them here so you can have a look. I'll leave that on the page just for a moment so you can pause the video, have a little look there. And then recently we've just gone through the second sonnet in the play, when Romeo and Juliet make up this kissing sonnet. So he says, if I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this, my lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this, for saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Have not saints lips and holy palmers too? I pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. O then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. And then they kiss. So that's the second sonnet we've come across, and I've done the same thing here. I've bolded the second, the stressed syllable in the foot. So if I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this. And we have the same thing here. We have the schwa a lot, and we can put this in there to make sure that our second syllable in the foot is a stressed syllable. Now remember, what would be a good way to do this? You can have couplets of, just single syllables. And just be very careful that, you're looking at these longer vowels, which are more likely to be stressed. So I, E, O, U, they're more likely to be stressed than Or you could have 2-syllable words where the stress comes on the second, or you could have Let's have another look at an example. The gentle sin. So we've got a 1, a 2, and a 1 put together. So we've got 4 syllables there, 2 syllable feet, and we just have to look where the stress goes on each. I think that's the same thing there. I'm trying to see if we've got any other examples. Again, 1 syllable, 2 syllables, 1 syllable. Yeah, we've got a lot of that. We've got 3 syllable here, so this is a good one. Devotion shows, so we're going to have a 1 syllable after. We're very unlikely going to have things. The point I'm trying to make here, as I go through and try to find things, the point I'm trying to make is we're very unlikely to going to have odds. We want to have even. So if you've got a 3, you're going to want a 1. If you've got a 2 in the middle, you're going to want a 1 either side. You're going to want 2 1s and a 2, a 2 and a 2. Try to make sure that you're getting the even numbers of syllables in there, because remember it's 10 lines and 2 per foot. And then just try to think about where your stress is going to be. So before I go on to that, there's actually this really good tool. You can go onto dictionary.com and you can put a word in and it'll actually show you where the stress is. So homework. So the stress, obviously, work is schwa there. So the stress is going to come on home. And you can do this with every word. So you can put this in, find where the stress is, and then rearrange your sonnet to make sure it's iambic. Obviously, as you remember, most of you have started, some of you have even already finished. Your choices of topic are from the perspective of a failing student who is scared of their parents, from the perspective of an angry teacher who has had enough, from the perspective of a piece of homework not being done, and from the perspective of a hard-working student annoyed at the noisy or the lazy ones. So they're your choices of topics for your sonnets. 14 lines, the same rhyming scheme, and make it as iambic as you can. If there are errors in it, that's fine. If you have, for instance, you have a trochee, instead of an iamb, you have a trochee, so the stress comes first. If you use that, but put that it's a trochee, you're at least able to identify that you've used a trochee. I'll be happy with that, because it shows that you understand and you've identified that. So I'll be more than happy with that. Again, if you have a feminine ending and you can't, the words you've got written down you really like and you don't want to change it, but it is a feminine ending, and then you, again, if you just put this is a feminine ending, I'll be happy with that as well. Providing that the rest of the line is iambic still. Yeah, that's it. So this will be due at the end of the week, at the end of the weekend, sorry. Good luck. If you have any questions, please ask.